Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ryan and Degenerate Passive Income coming to you like we do every single Tuesday night. What's the date today? March 10th. I am back home in the tundra. I had a nice little week-long vacation in Scottsdale, Arizona. I had a good time. We're renting a McLaren for the week. You probably saw some of the videos. It was fun. The car is crazy. I probably have one, maybe one of my PLAZM. When PLAZM is $1, I'll buy a couple of them. You never know. But with that said, guys, I do. Oh, first things first, guys. Stick around till the end. I'm going to give away one of these new Bernard Bonds shirts, okay? Right there. And on the back of them, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there it's a scan thing where if you scan that code on the back of the shirt, it'll bring them right to the Bernard Bonds website. So our buddy Scott Tixon, Best Blinds Utah, he is the maker of these shirts. Hit him up if you need something. He'll probably be in the chat. Sells them for pennies. And ships them off to you and whatever. But I'm going to give away one tonight later on, so stick around. We're going to talk about everything tonight and go through a bunch of things. But first, I need to go on a little bit of a rant. Okay, so buckle up. Here we go. I emailed the three top people, the CEO, the founder, and the property management company of eEstate this week. And I asked them, hey, here's my user number because I'm invested, guys, into the for $10 in the Miami apartment or whatever it is. And I get like 30 cents a day, whatever. I'm compounding it because I expect zero. I emailed the top three, the CEO, the founder, and whatever, the CMO. And I said, you know what? I'm thinking about going in multiple six figures into some of these properties. And please, could I get, could I get an insurance policy, the cover page showing that eEstate owns this or Eli Property Management or someone? All three of them said the same thing. It's pretty much a bot saying, you know what, that's proprietary information and we can't do that. So you guys know it's a joke, right? eEstate, it's going to rug. It's taking millions of dollars from people. We all know this. They call it tokenized real estate. It's tokenized bullshit is what it is, guys. Okay, let's call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. That's what's happening here, okay? I also went to the actual, if you saw my eEstate video, I went to the actual warehouse that they have where you can make 0.6 to 0.81% a day. Okay. I went to the thing. I went into the parking lot. It is that building, the exact building. I walked right up to the door and guess what's inside? A bunch of used dirty mattresses. So they're paying 0.6% to 0.8% a day for a bunch of used mattresses paying rent. Awesome. So yeah, that's believable. That's enough about eEstate, guys. You've got these huge leaders just raking in referrals, okay? It's disgusting, and you know what? Fine, whatever. You guys are going to be wrecked, whatever you're in. I put my $100 in, or my $10, thinking I'm going to lose it. Now, we're going to talk about Loom-X real quick. I put $100 into that, compounding every day, because I knew I was going to get zero after 90 days, because it's going to rug, right? So, my $100 is gone, guys. Nobody's getting paid. You've got huge leaders telling people to still make deposits. I am in these Telegram groups. I say nothing. I do not shill. I just watch and I'm like, you guys got to be kidding. And you know what? Some of you guys can't hide because I see your names in there. Are we getting paid? What's going on? Guys, if you're in something like this, Bernard Bonds or PLAZM, just stick to that, okay? Stick to what works. Stick to a founder you could talk to any night. Don't be stupid, okay? We've all been through this. This isn't 21 and 22 anymore, all right? You need to have doxed founders, doxed wallets, everything trackable with DBank, or it's absolutely worthless. You know it's going to zero, and that's just the way it is, okay? So if you're at Loom-X, you're probably listening, some of you, you're wrecked. I'm sorry. I warned you. You should have saw the writing was on the wall ever since it started 4 months ago, all right? Because no one's smart enough to get out after the first cycle and be like, hey, I just made 20%. I'm leaving. No, you go balls in and you lose everything. But with that said, guys, rant is over. We're going to talk about real world revenue, zero Ponzi-nomics tonight. With that said, AJ, thank you for taking the time once again on your Tuesday night. I know you're busy, but thank you for joining and coming to talk with us.
Yeah, Ryan, no doubt, bro. I love your rant at the top of the show. Me and Ryan get so passionate about this because we don't want people to get wrecked. And we have an amazing, transparent product that is real yield. It doesn't pay 1% a day, but some months is damn near close. in terms of principal appreciation and yield, and yet nobody wants to give Bernard Bonds the light it deserves. But that will change. I mean, a lot of you that have been here for the long run, we're going on almost a year now, which has been amazing. And the longer we have, as a track record, again, continuing to do these transparent AMAs and with yield, holding up, if not even getting better when we actually have a bull run. I mean, all of those things will come together. And yeah, don't go chasing these insane returns. They're all made up. And even if it was 1% a day, if you get rugged in 100 days, and most times you can't even pull your principal, that 1% doesn't matter. It could be 100% a day. So you just got to remember that as well. And yeah, man, always happy to be here, Ryan. We got a lot to go over tonight for sure, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I forgot to mention Aurum as well. That's another thing. Aurum, we had a big YouTuber do a video on Aurum, guys, and that was he did the math on what that thing needs to make, because there's like 350 or 400 million dollars in that thing. Okay, there is they need to make $4 million a day in trading, and they don't say they trade. They say they don't trade leverage, making $4 million a day. It is impossible to make that, guys. Okay, you have to trade leverage to do that. I saw a video. Actually, AJ sent it to me. It was a video of some bigger leaders talking. They were showing this bot, and it was a big joke, and it just disgusts me watching it. And what this big YouTuber was showing, he didn't even take into consideration the referral systems, the 20 levels deep on the deposits and on the income that these big leaders get paid, because they get paid on both ends. They didn't even take that into effect on top of the 4 million. Okay, so it's probably 5 or 6 million a day that needs to make. So that's going to go to zero too, guys. It's paying for now. Whatever, you guys believe whatever you want, get wrecked. But anyways, enough about the garbage out there. We're talking about real world revenue. We're talking about Bernard Bonds. Like AJ said, it's just a matter of time before people wake up. If you'd have told me 9 months ago that we're going to have 15,780 Bernard Bonds, we have 24% of the whole DexFi treasury vault. I mean, that's crazy, because remember, this is just a white label service of DexFi, just, for my people, because I begged for it. And if you told me out of 15,780 bonds minted 9 months ago, I would be like, you know what, you're nuts. But here we are. We're killing the game. 65.51% APR. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's massive. A lot of people only 5 or 6% a month. That's not that great. I can get 1% a day over here. Guys, you're getting that for maybe one cycle of these things. Then, like I said before, you're going in balls deep and you get wrecked. But you know what? Whatever you want to do, have fun with that. This thing's been rocking for 9 months, and it's not stopping. Crypto has to go to zero for it to stop. If you're a permabull like me and AJ are on ETH, it's not going to zero. Okay, I think we only go up from here. There might be a little bit of a dip before it starts going up, but I think April's our month. I hope it's got to happen soon. There's no big catalyst. We need some kind of catalyst to happen. I think we didn't even dip when the war started, guys. And I want to stress that. And maybe AJ will talk about that a little bit too. The war had nothing to do with the price of ETH and Bitcoin. I mean, usually when that happens, boom, it just tanks. There's no more room for that. There's no more sellers, in my opinion. So buyers are waiting on the sideline for either Elon or Trump to make a tweet, and off to the moon we go. And I think the bull run starts. But you know what? What are your thoughts on that, real quick, AJ?
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. I mean, we get on here every week, and we commiserate when we say, fundamentally, crypto is so bullish, but yet week after week after week, we see it go down. And at some point, like you said, there has to be a bottom and a catalyst to recover. But on the flip side, a catalyst in the other direction as well, meaning, again, even if you are skeptical and don't think that we are close to a bottom, there is no other news that really can happen to send us lower. So I think that, these sellers are exhausted, and again, the big guys are using this to their advantage. Bitmine, Tom Lee, just bought another $100 million of Ethereum at these lower prices. So again, it is very heavily manipulated. I think a lot of retail has sold at a loss and left. But all of us that are here, we get it, and we've been earning, even with the market going down. So those are all the things that set us up for success in the long term. And yeah, I mean, could there be one more black swan event, tether flood or whatever usually ends up happening in a bear market? Yeah, absolutely. But does that send us down maybe another 10%? Um, Probably. But then what? I mean, again, we are much closer to a bottom than a top, and it goes, the other way just as quick. Meaning, if you are sidelined and we do get a recovery, the Clarity Act passes. Trump finally confirms some sort of a digital asset reserve. All these things could send, crypto, 20, 30% in a day. And that is with big blue chips like Bitcoin and ETH, let alone alts. We see 100% in a day. So all of those things are very possible, and the whole idea is to be hedged and have exposure in a very appropriate way, where you're not all on the sideline hoping and praying. You slowly get back in. You start adding at the lows. Again, we say it all the time: dollar cost average or DCA. And then that way you don't have to actually know the actual bottom. You're exposed no matter what. And those are just all fundamentally sound strategies for the future. So and yeah, I'm as bullish as ever, Ryan. I mean, again, it may be another month or two. It may be to the end of the year, but on a long term time horizon, I absolutely think that we see, 10, 20, $30,000 ETH and, literally $1 million Bitcoin. I still think all of that is very priced in over the next 10 years. And with AI, again, I mean, that is another huge on ramp. And all the RWA, financial rails coming onto ETH now. I saw Kraken, one of the big exchanges, centralized exchanges, is now completely integrated with fintech and everything and banking. I mean, they are essentially a bank now, and so all of those things are really bullish for the future.
Yeah, exactly. And what you cannot deny is, like we said, people who aren't bullish, what you cannot deny is this has been about our average since inception, 65% APR, which is about 5.5% a month, guys. Okay. I don't know where else you're getting that. My real estate doesn't make that. Doesn't even make half of that. And I have to work my ass off fixing toilets and dealing with tenants and all this garbage. It drives me nuts because, like, what am I doing? What am I busting my balls for? And, doing that when I could just buy bonds and have it sit and make 5% a month. That's a no-brainer to me. Okay. That's why I'm heavily invested. That's why I'm thinking of changing courses. Okay. One thing you cannot FUD is this number too. In the last 9 months, $1.36 million of USDC has been distributed to investors. That's over 45 grand a month, guys, of real world revenue. And it can always be tracked right here by pressing this magic little button that goes over to DBank. You cannot hide money from DBank. You cannot manipulate it. You cannot do anything. It is all here for you to see. It shows you got some ETH on base ready for some more entries into vaults, because this is liquidity providing, guys, through DexFi vaults and liquidity farming. Obviously, we've got about 10, 11 grand worth of USDC. It's all here for you to see. Every asset, every single vault that we're in with the amounts. It doesn't give the ranges because that'd be the secret sauce. It doesn't give the ranges, doesn't give the entries, the exits, anything like that. So I mean, we're not giving away the secret sauce, but we've got a ton of base vaults. We've got BNB. We've got Aave. We've got 555,000 into Aave. We got 411 working for us. 966 lent, and I see our health rate is even better now at 1.95. So that's amazing. It's all here, guys. It's all here for you to see, and you can see if you press transactions, you can go and look, and you can see when people mint right here, when people buy, when we go into a vault right here, deposit 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Look at all that. I mean, it never ends. Okay, we're always deploying capital into different vaults and farms and letting the AI do the work. Obviously, there's some manual stuff, guys, but that's that. Notice, guys, now I have AJ. I'm gonna have you touch on this real quick. We've got 2.418 million TVL up here, and over here we've got 2.651. So we've got a little discrepancy. Does that have anything to do with these numbers right here? Because 3,000, it seems a little low, because it was down to like 2,000. So what is there a little UI issue, or what's happening?
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. So again, that's why we love coming on every week to be able to explain what's happening and give everybody real-time info. So yeah, the short answer is that minor discrepancy is due to our V4 update. So if you guys follow our socials on Dex Finance, you saw that we just announced we now support V4 LP pairs. So again, the crypto space is always moving quickly. V2 was like the old school, farming method where you're getting a reward token for providing liquidity, and you have to sell that and hope to God that that token has value to make any money. V3 was the next iteration, and that's what we do. We actually provide LP in ranges, wide and narrow, and then we earn fees based on the trading volume. And now there's a new tech, which is V4, and V4 is everything that V3 is, but also integrates something called hooks, HOOKS, and hooks are essentially a smart contract that sits right before or after you do a swap. So sometimes protocols can add additional incentives with that. Sometimes they add another fee to help their own liquidity. So it's just the next iteration of capital efficiency. So now, and that's again bleeding edge. Very few protocols are even using V4 now, but that will be the next wave. And so now we're compatible with everything. And so we do have about 300 grand, I think, of TVL in V4 vaults, and that just isn't being tracked on DBank yet. We've submitted to DBank to track all those contracts, but the accurate number is always on our homepage of the website there for TVL. But yield is the same thing. So yield is tracked through our own API, and so sometimes that doesn't pick up the update. So we have to update our API to track all the V4 yield as well. So I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but I mean, we definitely have a little more profit on compound and daily profit than what we're seeing. So hopefully that will be updated by the end of the week, and then everything will match again. But again, on chain, it's all there, and we just have to, when we do the upgrades, it takes a couple of a week at most to just get everybody on the same page. And DBank's been amazing. We have our own private chat with them. They do their own due diligence. It's all third party, so we can't alter the results anyway. And it just has to be updated with the new V4 adapters. So
excellent. Yeah, so that's that, guys. Like I said before, 15,780 bonds minted. We own 24%. Now that went up 1% last night. I'm excited about that. My goal is to have 50% of the treasury for Bernard bondholders, but we will see, guys. We'll see what happens when we got everything else lined up here. But so for the first timers, This is liquidity farming and liquidity providing, obviously, on the Base network. You would need ETH on Base to mint a bond. You go up your connector wallet, links in the description, and it's 0.0198 ETH. It's about $40.37. And you can mint as many you want. This wallet here, I have 154. I have 206 in another one, and I have over 2,000 in another wallet, guys. Okay, so I have them in different wallets because they're for different areas of my investing, just a thing. And you can go, I could go claim this $330 right now by clicking this claim button, and bam, it'll be instant in my wallet. You can claim it whether you have 1 cent or $330 like I do. It's instantly into my wallet. It takes 2 seconds. It's 1 cent in gas and instantly in my wallet. You can claim anytime. Also, you can get out of Bernard Bonds anytime. We do not hold your money, okay? There's no 30, 60, 90-day stakes, or we're going to pay you for 18 months or whatever it's going to be. Zero Ponzi-nomics, guys, okay? You just unstake your NFT and you go click this little redeem button, and bam, within 48 hours during the week, guys, you're going to have your ETH on Base. That is correct. I said ETH, not stables. You get the underlying asset back that you bought it with, okay? Which, if you're permeable like I am, you know that if you buy a bond right now worth $40, ETH in maybe 6 months or 12 months is going to be double, triple that. Guess what your bond's worth? 80, 120, 160, whatever it's going to be. So you're gaining money that way all along, making 65% APR on this amount. Okay, that's the math. My 154 bonds are worth this much. You'll notice this number changes all the time, guys, because it's not a Ponzi. Okay, this number changes to the value, and this APR always changes. You cannot guarantee an APR. Okay, that is garbage. Whatever you're in, if they're guaranteeing an APR, get out, because you're going to get wrecked. All right, so real quick, AJ, how has this number come about, and why does it change? How do we come about with that number?
Yeah, no doubt. So again, the bond price is determined in actual ETH. That we call that the ETH ratio. And then the dollar value is just the current market price of ETH in dollars. So what happens is when you mint a bond, it's essentially the total fund value divided by how many bonds there are. That math gives you the appropriate bond value and proportional ownership of the fund. And the reason we do that is so that anybody can enter the system, and it doesn't negatively reward or hurt investors depending on when they got in. So all that is kind of how it works. And then that ratio itself is determined by how well the assets hold up against Ethereum. So as Ryan showed on DBank, we have exposure to many other assets that are not Ethereum, even though half of the LP pool is usually ETH. The other half is a token, and that's where the volume comes from, right? So we have to get into other protocols. And when I say other protocols, I don't mean memes or shit tokens or these fly by night protocols. I mean again, scaling into what we have conviction plays in, accordingly, and has the appropriate volume, the real revenue, all the big holdings of the fund are protocols that actually produce revenue and are businesses on their own. So all those things come into play, and that do a bunch of volume. So again, one of those is Banker, one of our biggest holdings. We were accumulating Banker for months because we knew the potential, and now that is really the on-ramp for all AI agents on Base. And so, the volume skyrocketed, the price skyrocketed, and we were doing, 10, 20 grand a day a few weeks ago just from Banker alone. So we have exposure to really great projects, and it is a balance between what pays and what is a way to, still have exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we have been scaling into more blue chips as well. But one thing, again, that really impacts that ETH ratio is the Aave system now. So now and Ryan mentioned it a minute ago, we have about $1 million now in Aave. So we are slowly scaling into Aave with new deposits, and what this will do is it will harden the floor price of bonds, because now when when ETH goes up, we now have say ETH doubles, we now have $2 million of value in ETH, but we still only owe 400,000 in USDC. So we are able to essentially have uh, what is almost a self-repaying loan, where we're borrowing against our assets without ever having to sell ETH into other LPs to earn. And so the downside is that you know obviously we're not earning on all $1 million of that, which will reduce APR a little bit. But the upside is that we have much better capital efficiency, and over time, that ETH ratio is a lot less volatile. So, again, we've never really been below that 0.2. We're slightly below it right now. But that over the last 4 or 5 months, we've been really setting a floor in the actual bond price, while also earning, a record APR in that time frame. So, the system is always evolving, but I think we really have it dialed in now. And we're always, continuing to make sure that principal balance is very healthy and APR is very healthy.
Right. Yeah. And so, and let's talk about the APR too. What
For sure.
what will make that fluctuate? Is it like explain how that fluctuates? Like it doesn't usually fluctuate more than a couple percent unless there's like a big deposit or something drastic happens in the market. Like the epoch is every 2 weeks, guys. So maybe explain that a little bit, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. So we, again, always evolving. We have moved to a bi-weekly epoch where the APR is now spread out over 2 weeks instead of 1 week. And every Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we top up the distribution contract with all the USDC that we earned over the previous week. So the APR is also, not only is it kind of averaged over 2 weeks, but it's the 2 previous weeks, right? Because we can't pay an APR in the future. That hasn't happened yet. So it is a bit of a lagging result. However, like Ryan said, um, two things. It basically has evened out the APR. We had a week last week or a few weeks ago where it was double because Banker was just exploding. But usually it's been around between 50 at maybe the low lows all the way up to like 140 at the highs. So over the last 9.5 months, the average has been right around this 65%. And we're working on metrics too. That's another bit of alpha. We're hoping to have the actual average APR displayed on the home screen soon. So we're working on that as well. But overall, again, bonds. I say everything I just said to just remind everybody, bonds are a long-term play, right? So if you're getting into bonds for a month or two, just based on our current APR, you might not have as good a time as guys like Ryan and I that are going to be in bonds for a year at least, because then we really can experience a true APR of 70%. I mean, again, when you put that in perspective, an IRA or mutual fund or a bank account, is paying maybe 5 or 10 if you're lucky. So the risk to reward ratio is just incredibly massive. And again, nobody should be putting their rent money into any of these protocols. Don't leverage bad debt. Don't sell your house. I mean, we always say it, but people unfortunately just still are trying to have a shortcut to getting rich. But bonds is really fundamentally one of the only things in crypto that we have been able to find and build ourselves. And again, mother, what is necessity is the mother of invention, right? So we've used this for years to keep our own protocols going, and the underlying what happens under the hood with LP providing is what all the big, hedge funds and banks and everything else are doing overall. So again, it's uh, hopefully that explained, Ryan. I don't know again how APR. Oh, the one other thing I forgot to mention. The other thing that could artificially kind of influence APR is if there is a big deposit. So if somebody deposits, say 100 grand, and the bigger the fund gets, the less issue this becomes. But if somebody deposited $1 million tomorrow into bonds, the APR would artificially be a bit lower because we don't want to, pay rewards that we don't have. So the APR would instantly drop to like half right now. If we had $1 million. But that only means that it would catch up within the next epoch. So the next APR would display accurately, and those that are in, other than that big person that just entered, everybody else would be earning proportionally anyway. So again, those are just some factors that would affect APR.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm glad we got that out of the way. And we talk about the APR changing and not guaranteed, guys. And JMC Panic, he's in here. From June on, bonds P&L is minus 47%. When are we going to make money? Well, JMC Panic or whatever your name is, there are a ton of people that are in profit because they waited until 6 months into the project, and they've been buying bonds at 0.02 and stacking them and making 65% APR for 3 or 4 months. Okay. I have a wallet that is up 19%. All right. It's only got like 15 bonds in it, but I wanted to see the P&L. Okay. So just saying, I was one of them with this wallet right here. Okay. I bought on, no, this might not be the one. I bought on the first day about $275 a bond, and right now they're 40. Okay. But you know what? I've been making USDC all along the way. And what you don't get, JMC Panic 8104, is I hold multiple, I have 3-digit figures in my ledger of ETH that have made me zero. I have lost my ass because I've been holding it. All right. But here I put it to work and I'm earning USDC along the way. All right. I don't know if that makes sense to you, AJ, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. You said it perfectly. I mean, again, it's always easy for people to armchair quarterback, right? But number one, we don't know the future, right? So we could be in a massive bull run right now, and each could be 10K, and this argument is null and void, right? Or it could be even worse than it is right now. But the point is that yes, if you bought bonds on day one, minute one, probably for the first few weeks, at most. Yeah, obviously you're down, what 47% or whatever it might be. But like you said, Ryan, we number one, if you held ETH in your wallet, I mean, I don't know, we could go look at a chart, but June of last year, ETH was 4K, right? So that's a 50% loss in ETH alone. Had you just had ETH in your wallet, you would be down 50%, and you would not have had any earning whatsoever. So, those that have, even if they did buy their quote unquote top bonds, you could have been compounding. And we did the math. I've said this a few times. Last month was the turning point where had you been compounding into bonds to increase your position, while the market was going down, you would be in profit even if you bought bonds on day one. Because again, the more you compound, the more you earn per bond, and build your position so that when the market does recover, you've now reduced your cost basis dramatically. So again, McPanic says, when do we get our money back? Well, we get our money back when ETH recovers, and or you've held long enough that your USDC that you're earning for at a very healthy APR makes up for the loss. I mean, this is what yield farming is. It's not a day trading. It's not, hoping that you can 10 or 20x on the tokens themselves. It's a yield product, meaning you may sacrifice a little bit of the up and down for earning, revenue every single minute of every single day. So, yeah, hopefully that compares apples to apples instead of apples to oranges.
Right. And I just went back to this chart and looked at, if I was to say a year ago, I put all my ETH in, half my ETH into I wasn't half, but into bonds. So 1 year ago, I just did the math in my head on my calculator over here. I've lost $180,000 by holding ETH in my wallet. So you tell me, JMC Panic, how that makes sense, where I could put it in something like this and get and earn USDC all along the way. All right. So when you have an answer for that, you let me know. It's pretty simple. I know what the answer is, and the answer is you want USDC earning 65.5, 6% a month, even though you're down, say 47%. I'm down way more than that by holding it. Okay, it's very simple to see that on a chart if you know how to look at a chart. But Henry Jones says bonds will recover. Take the USD that bonds provide each day. Absolutely, I take it every day. I welcome USDC into my wallet every single day. I never complain because I'm not worried about the founders running off. I'm not worried about fake CEOs hiding behind masks and having bodyguards at fake summits in Miami. We don't do that here, okay? We come in front of you, the camera, every Tuesday night, and nobody else does it, period. All right? That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't know what else to tell me. You have anything to add there, Jay?
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, I think that was covered it. The only other thing I would say is that you also have exposure to the upside too. So that's another thing. I mean, everybody wants to say how bad it is on the way down, but nobody ever says how great it is on the way up. Meaning, there would be a point in the future, again, assuming that sentiment returns, there is a bull run, volume could literally 10x, and that matters because volume is how we get paid. All of these factors that go into a real bull run, that is what is going to actually give you the upside too. I mean, again, bonds could easily recover to 0.01 on what in that ETH ratio on the day that they started because again, for us that have been here a long time, we've seen many cycles. For new people it might be harder, but in an alt season, again, so you get a bull run, sentiment returns, ETH goes up 2x, alts go up 100x. And again, I mean, I don't think we're going to see 100x anymore. And obviously I'm being a bit exaggerative, but the whole idea is that we could easily see a 10x on some of the alts that we have exposure to, and that will push that ETH ratio back up. And what nobody ever talks about is the compounding. The compounding alone will help that ratio come back up, even if we stay where we are. So remember, the numbers that we show, those aren't a combined number. They're separate. So we're compounding just as much as we make every single day in yield. And so even if the market just stays sideways from here for the next 2 or 3 years, you're doubling essentially APY roughly, and assuming the APR stays the same, you could double or triple your position in 3 years. So again, all of those things are part of why this makes sense long term. And yeah, again, if you are more comfortable holding ETH in your wallet and not yielding and being um, exposed to what the market does without yield, then that's also a strategy. But for me, at least, and again, I think a lot of people understand the power is in the yield itself. And I think once we actually, again, I get it, like words are one thing, but proof is another, and we will see it happen when we do see sentiment return. bond price recovers, people are going to be up in principal balance and earning, all-time highs along the way. And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, that's the holy grail, right? To be able to be up on your principal balance and be earning a high APR. And I'm very confident that we will see that for sure.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And then Panic says, 1 ETH is 1 ETH. Come on, even being down, you sleep better at night holding ETH, especially since we all ETH maxes here. Panic, I am holding ETH, and so are you. If you have bonds, where is your ETH gone? Okay, you're essentially holding ETH and earning USDC on it. I just choose to have half of mine here and half in my ledger. Okay, nobody's forcing you to do anything. And I don't really understand your thinking there, because it doesn't make any sense. Your ETH is not gone. Nobody stole it. It's right in front of you on your dashboard in the form of bonds, and you're earning USDC on it every single minute. So I'm not sure about that. Patience and DCA will win, Muttley says. It's not wrong. Okay, it's not wrong. Joseph Pergram's in the house. Bonds rock and PLAZM is awesome. This is the PLAZM Maxi in the house. IMC Panic. The current APR works only on new buys, though. For us who bought day, the APR is way lower. Might look like 65, but it's way lower since we bought 6 times higher. The APR is the APR. Okay? I'm making 65.47% on this amount. That's the math. Okay? There is no other math. Am I wrong there, AJ? Are you there, AJ?
Oh, yep. You there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, no doubt, Ryan. I mean, on the dashboard, yes, 100%. What is there is what the APR is based on. I think what Mechanic is saying is that, yeah, if you bought in the first week, your principal balance is down, and so it's not an adjusted APR, based on when your entry was, but that would be literally impossible to do while still allowing new users in bonds, and having it be an adjustable rate. Like Ryan said, if we were able to guarantee APR, it would 100% be a scam and a Ponzi. So yeah, I mean, everything is variable. We've been fully transparent on that from minute one. And yeah, the whole idea is that, you could use, again, these arguments are just kind of getting a little crazy now. So you could use the USDC that you've been earning for the last 9 months to reduce your cost basis in bonds, or not, and just be, ride it out, meaning you're okay with your principal balance going down while the entire market has gone down the same amount, and use the yield to pay your bills, or get into other projects, or do whatever. So again, the two are not mutually exclusive, and there's no right or wrong answer. You have to make that decision on your own, but you can't come and say, you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth, right? You can't say, well, now I'm down and the APR doesn't matter, when if you bought 9 months ago, you have been earning APR the entire time while ETH has gone down by the same amount that you would have had if you were holding ETH alone. And again, I mean, anybody, if they're in and we're in from the beginning, you could just be using the APR to buy Ethereum. Maybe you hate bonds, or you got in and whatever. You could use the USDC just to build your ETH bag up again, and now you have ETH in your wallet, and you can hold it or whatever you want to do with it if you're not happy with the performance or whatever it might be. So there's 100 different ways we could skin the cat, but I think that answers at least the criticism for sure. And who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe McPanic
exactly.
is just trying to give us a good discussion tonight. So
That's good.
yeah,
I welcome it. This is why we're here, guys. This is why we are here.
Totally.
Okay, to talk about these things. So I do not mind it at all. I do not mind it at all. As long as we keep it professional. All right, Joseph Pigram is in the house. Like I said, he is the PLAZM Maxi. Scott, Best Blinds Utah. I see. Remember, guys, I'm going to give away one of these shirts at the end of the stream, okay? On the back of it, it's got a QR code about this big. And if someone scans it on your back, it brings you right to the Bernard Bonds website. It's pretty cool. I'm giving away one of those. Plus, Scott, if you're in that building, I want you to make a PLAZM shirt just for Joseph because he is the best. He's always commenting daily in the PLAZM group. He's always in the AMAs. He engages, and that's what I appreciate. Likes, subscribes, asks questions. He's bullish, and I appreciate Joseph immensely. I am sending, so Scott Tixon, please make him a PLAZM shirt. Joseph, DM me your size and your dress, and I'm going to send you a PLAZM shirt this week. So just a heads up. And also, I'm going to give away a Bernard Bond shirt tonight. So, okay, here we go. Now, I think we've covered that. AJ, good enough, or anything else to add?
Yeah, no, again, shout out to Joseph and Kulshi. Again, our PLAZM maxis. We're going to get into PLAZM next. But yeah, I think we covered everything with Bernard Bonds for sure.
Okay. So PLAZM, a week ago, exactly a week ago, you guys watched me put an enormous amount of ETH into PLAZM. You were busting my balls, and I said, you know what? You're welcome for minting 350 bonds for you guys to earn on every single day. So you are still welcome, and I am still bullish on PLAZM. We had a boost today, guys. Look at the chart. We'll go to eShare first. We had a big bump, and then a little bit of sell-off. We went from 925 to 990. That's huge. And then PLAZM followed, of course. Oops, where'd I go? Whoa, what happened there? PLAZM, I better go back. PLAZM. And right there. I gotta go down here. Yeah. There's our big boost. Bam, a big buy. And then the buy and burn is just, it tickles up. And these little, is this like easy mode happening here, AJ, or what is this happening here? These little, they seem pretty consistent.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. So again, this is a great place to start. And what I think people that aren't really tuned in or following as closely get a little frustrated with. But yeah, what happens is, so let's talk about easy mode first of all, because I think people get a little confused with easy mode. So easy mode was created in a way that we're able to actually let people get into PLAZM or stay in PLAZM and feed our treasury, right? So those are the two, or the number one goal of PLAZM that will help everybody's bag in the long term is having the biggest treasury that we possibly can, right? So that is the end goal, and because of that, the protocol is designed to have fees. And again, we say fees, but we like to call them contribution costs because they're not a fee. A fee is paying a developer or paying a tax or paying, removing value from the system. A contribution is a payment, but it stays in the system. So again, people say fees, but it really isn't a fee. And so that being said, we've designed a lot of things in the protocol to keep people engaged, keep people earning, and feed the treasury no matter what, right? So in other similar protocols, people have to either stake or sell everything and then stake what they have remaining, right? So easy mode was a way that we were able to do this in a more automated way, but it doesn't create magic money, right? Like the money has to come from somewhere and the yield has to come from somewhere. So easy mode is just a tool. It's not a fix. And I think people were really relying on easy mode to be a fix to the system, when really it's just a matter of guaranteeing or helping to guarantee that people stay in the system. So to answer your question, again, I want to give context to all that, Ryan, but to answer your point, yes. So when people use easy mode, they are technically selling PLAZM to then cover the staking contribution fee or cost. So when you do that, though, it obviously shows up on the chart as a sell. So we're getting to a point now where as the ROI goes lower and lower, there is an argument to be made that you're better off to just hold your PLAZM, because again, Ryan, if you do the math right here, type in 1,000 PLAZM on easy mode, and we'll see and then go down to the estimate. So it means that you're selling. What does that give us? The staked amount. So yeah, zoom in real quick a little bit more, Ryan, if you can. All right. So yeah. So basically, you're staking of that 1,000. You're you're only getting about $28. Or hang on, let me do the math here. All right. So ETH. So yeah, you're paying $100 of your PLAZM is being sold. So rather than having that $100 sell on the market, you may be better off to either hold for the price to recover, or maybe not. Again, you can do the math on your own, but right now in this exact example, it still does make sense to use easy mode because you're essentially all in for about $128 between the deposit and the staked amount, but you're going to earn $140 or $150. So again, that is a positive ROI. And remember too, you get your staked PLAZM back as well. And if you hit enter easy mode, Ryan, hit that button real quick. This will break it down even easier for people. Yeah, if you press it once, it should. Does it work or no? Maybe it'll bring up. Maybe you don't have PLAZM, so you've staked
I
it
don't.
already. So it might not work for you.
I gave away my kidneys and everything last week on the live.
Yeah. But when you do this on your own, if you hit enter easy mode, it will literally break it down per token on what you're getting. So the whole point of what I'm saying is, right now there is an argument to be made that you hold your PLAZM, or you go and you buy PLAZM on the market to secure your immediate ownership. So those two things, again, will help the floor price, and then the buy and burn can go to town. So to your point, Ryan, every time you saw that red candle, if you go back on the chart, the red candles are the sellers through easy mode, which again doesn't necessarily mean they're dumping on our heads. It just means that they're going into the treasury instead of leaving the system altogether. And some of them might be sellers that are leaving, but that's okay, because when they sell and leave, they're leaving behind the contribution that they made originally. So now we're all earning on what they left behind with the buy and burn. So that's another thing people say. Well, why not just go into bonds? Why not go into PLAZM? You're essentially getting leverage on bond yield through PLAZM, because the only people benefiting from the buy and burn are those that stay for the longest amount of time. So all that is really bullish. Yeah, and so to your point, again, the last sell, almost every time you see there's a small up and to the right after every sell, and that is the buy and burn. I mean, again, $800 to $900 a day right now in buying and burning every 10 minutes forever, as long as bonds are yielding. And that number only goes up, because remember last week we also updated the split where part of the yield buys more bonds now. So we don't even need new users. We never did need new users, but what we obviously, the more new users we get, the quicker the treasury grows. Now we don't even have to worry about that, because every day we're buying, I think, another 4 bonds. If you go to burn, real quick, Ryan, the burn tab, yep, and then go to buy and grow at the top. Yeah.
Buy and
Yep,
grow.
one
Yeah.
more. Yep, perfect. So there you go. So
4.1,
yeah,
yep.
yep, 4 bonds a day. So again, and now we're almost at with ETH recovering a little bit. Again, to McPanic's point of what about my principal? We're almost again back over 500K in bond value with PLAZM. So that's bullish. That number's been going up as bond price and ETH price recover as well. Which again, in theory, if the treasury doubles, even if the bond price is the same, I'm sorry, even if the yield is the same, we're buying and burning $2,000 a day instead of 1,000 a day. So it scales up the longer we go. So again,
Right.
Plasm's really, really bullish, and I hate to really say it, especially publicly, but this has the potential to just be an absolute game changer. Like the economics, assuming that bonds are still paying and we can continue to grow the treasury, this mathematically is set up to be a top 100 crypto for sure. So I'm very, very excited for the future of PLAZM, knowing what we have developed in terms of the economics.
Right. I do. Well, I remember when you said dumping on people's head, AJ. I just want to run over this quick, guys. Okay. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
I'm not giving away that shirt, guys, with 28 people watching and 7 likes. A YouTuber's favorite currency is likes. Okay. So hit the like button. Like button. I'm not giving away anything until I see 20 of them. So just saying. Now let's go to this.
Let's go.
Let's go to this, and I want to rest assured that you guys know that these top 5 wallets, okay? I know this guy, friend of mine. This is me, okay? And look at these amounts. This guy right here just had a 280,000 PLAZM release, which was 1.1 million tokens, I think it was, okay? He is putting in fresh ETH daily, laddering stakes. He will not be selling nothing, okay? This is me. Right there. You know me. I'm diamond hand. I ride until the wheels fall off of everything. So you guys know that. This is a good guy who does our shirts. He already knows that. He's already said that he was number 2. I took his place. Scott, you can be my huckleberry anytime, buddy. I said this number 4, friend of mine as well. Okay. And look at the amount of tokens these guys have. This guy right here, good friend of mine as well. Everybody down here, I don't know. But when the top 5 sellers are not going to dump on your head and they have huge stakes and putting in fresh ETH, what do you think that does? That buys more bonds. Now we compound more bonds. Now we buy and burn more. We buy and build. We build and grow. We do everything that the protocol is supposed to do. So the top 5 people with the most money on it, diamond hands, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of them below that can do whatever they want. And it's not going to affect the protocol like the top 5 would if they were, I'm just saying, guys, you don't have to worry about huge whales like me dumping on your head or the other top 4 because they ain't happening. I know every single one of them. I don't know if you want to add to that, AJ, or whatever.
Yeah, Ryan, for sure, bro. I don't know. My internet, it might be messed up. Or you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear
You're
you.
breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me? Oh,
Yep.
clear? All right, perfect. So, yeah, I agree. It's 1,000%. So, on top of everything that you just said, Ryan, the other really amazing part of the way PLAZM is designed is that we can allow responsible profit taking and still have the chart go up and to the right. And so, again, no other protocol is able to do that because they don't have massive buy and burn or real yield feeding it. And so my point to that is, even in that scenario, another few cycles from now that the buy and build or buy and burn is doing $3,000 a day, the top 10 wallets could sell literally $300 a day and the price would still go up. So there is a way, and that's again the counter argument is, well, I'm in crypto to make money, right? Yeah, of course, we all are. And we're not saying you can't sell. We're saying that the way PLAZM is designed is to reward diamond handers. Because in other protocols, diamond handers end up being exit liquidity, right? Ryan, I know both of us, we've been round trip, bro. We had millions of dollars in dashboard money that went to zero, right? So
Yep.
the whole idea the whole idea here is that fundamentally we reward diamond handlers because the buy and burn just gobbles up the entire supply. And that's what we're seeing. Even when we were, getting a little bit of people sad and discouraged in the Telegram, the whole idea is that you almost want the price to go down. And what protocol have you ever been rooting for the price to go down short term? Again, none. Because the buy and burn can then buy more and burn more of the supply, which is like a coiled spring that when there is some more sellers, that we just go up and to the right with literally, thousands of dollars a day buying and burning. So all of those things are fundamentally so different. And again, you can see on chain everything I'm saying. It's not made up. The big caveat to all this is that bonds have to continue to perform. But they will and they have been. So that is the only thing that is dependent on PLAZM success. So if you're bullish on bonds, you should be way bullish on PLAZM for sure.
Exactly, guys. And if you want to check out PLAZM, guys, the link is in the description, obviously. And I mean, this thing is killing it. I was goofing around with a calculator today, and I think my next restake, if it was today, well, I could just put it in. So this stake of mine is supposed to give me, we'll just do stake. It's supposed to give me when my 280 or whatever it was, 280 some thousand. It was going to turn into 600 and some thousand. I think 620,000 maybe it was going to be.
Yep. That
So
sounds great.
yeah, that's going to cost me like 632 ETH. I can buy a validator for that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So yeah, about 67 grand in about 70 days. So I need to make $1,000 a day for the next 70 days so I can pay for
To
this.
cover it. Yeah, well, yeah, no
cover
doubt,
it.
Ryan. Yeah. Well, and
But
again, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? But the whole idea is the other thing that will hopefully help is that as the price recovers, the contribution costs get less. And again, that is by design. The system is designed to help incentivize or disincentivize the right or wrong moves for both you as a participant and for the protocol longevity. So yeah, the whole idea is that we if PLAZM doubles from here, we could see that fee get half. So again, it's all based on the price of what it costs to create similarly. So
yeah, well, I kind of figured it out. If he stayed the same from now until when I want to take my first profit in November, if ETH was, or I'm not ETH, but if ETH stayed the same and I went in the next cycle with 32 ETH and then one more cycle after that, I think it was going to be like almost like 200 grand. Okay. The next two things.
yeah,
I figured out if only a 10-cent PLAZM, I'm going to have like $3 million in PLAZM at 10 cents.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, and
guys.
that is totally, Ron. And that is the crazy part. I mean, people that are using fresh capital and not selling their PLAZM through easy mode, they're the ones that are gonna have the most supply. And again, it's not unfair, right? I mean, people say, well, PLAZM's a whales game then, right? I mean, yeah and no. I mean, anybody can do the same thing on a smaller level. But the whole point is that you're using fresh funds to then earn your PLAZM. Because what we say is, yes, at these levels, you can just buy on the market, but who knows? You may, PLAZM could double from another rail, in a few days, and now you're much better off earning your PLAZM than buying it, and you would never be able to get 600K of PLAZM, 600,000 tokens for what Ryan put into it. Now, and again, with the market going down, yes, that might be part of it, but nobody is going to market buy 20 grand of PLAZM and get away without slippage and price impact and all this other stuff. So again, to each of their own. But that's why we say the quote unquote safest play is to just do as the protocol designed of staking and paying with fresh capital to go in. And again, the more people that do that, the more the price recovers as well. So it's all by design. Oh, and one more comment too. Again, sorry, I know we're going late tonight, but the other crazy part is the collateralization. So Ryan, if you go to and I'm gonna do a post on this. I meant to do it a few weeks ago, but I just got so busy. But yeah, go here and we look. What is the total supply of PLAZM, Ryan? It's about
8.64 million.
All right, and what did we say the treasury was? Four
Uh,
thousand or 470K? Yep, right there it is.
470K,
So
yeah.
all right, so let's do that. Do you have a calculator on you
Uh,
by chance?
yeah, I do. Right here.
All right, let's do 47100
Okay.
divided by 8.6 million.
8600000. That is 5.5 cents.
Yeah. So again, 5.5 to 6 cents. And that's assuming all the PLAZM. A lot of that's in LP. That can't come out anyway. But yeah, that puts a actual collateralized value of PLAZM at double where it is today. So again, the way we do that math is there is literally almost $500,000 of assets backing the price of Ethereum, just like MicroStrategy or again Bitmine or whatever the digital asset treasuries in the real world and TradFi, the same concept, right? They have digital assets that back the value of their stock. Well, we have digital assets that back the price of PLAZM, and it's grossly undervalued at today's prices. So, by half.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now we talk about owner before we get off of PLAZM, AJ. I want to talk about everyone's talking about ownership. I
Yes.
know I'm at 5.166% or whatever. Is obviously that's a lot because I'm second in the on the leaderboard or whatever. But is there a number a person should be shooting for? Like how important is the ownership?
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. So the ownership percentage that we see in the portfolio view here, that is based on shares. And those shares are what determine what PLAZM is released. So PLAZM is not inflationary. There is a fixed supply of 125 million PLAZM ever. And that is already down now. We burned about 2 million. So that supply is already 122 million or 123 million, and that will only go lower and lower. And that release schedule is over 20 years. So, the vast majority, just like Bitcoin, right? The vast majority of the supply came out in the first few years, right? Now, you have all the miners competing for barely any rewards. So that whole same concept applies to PLAZM, where those that are essentially you're mining right now, Ryan, and you're gonna have 5% of what comes out in the next few cycles. So that is again a really great way to shoot for a number in terms of ownership, and 1% ownership really allows you to have a lot of control over your own destiny, right? Because now you have a big enough bag that you are influential in buying or selling your own asset, right? So that's why we say a 1% ownership is great. And there's only if you do get a 1% ownership, there's only another 99 people that can also have a 1% ownership. So you really are putting the majority of supply in the hands of people that matter most, right? So to your point, Ryan, earlier, the guys that are at the top of the leaderboard are obviously not going to dump on their own heads, right? Let alone each other's heads. So
Right.
you do want to have that sort of distribution that really helps the longevity of the project. And so yeah, you're at what almost over 5% now, and that number might go up and down depending on new users, but The real number to shoot for, based on the burn rate and the unlocking, or the emissions of PLAZM, is about 600K. So after this next cycle, Ryan, you will have a 1% ownership already, and that's only been 3 cycles. So again, those that have a long-term mindset, even if you get involved in PLAZM today, you can, number one, buy on the market outright to secure a big part of your ownership, or again just enter the system as designed, and in 3 cycles or 4 cycles, then you could have the same ownership, assuming that you bring fresh capital and go in like a madman, like Ryan did. So yeah, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sitting pretty good, guys, and we'll see what happens. And so I don't know how many days are left. Where does it say that? How many days? Does it say somewhere? Maybe it's
Yeah,
under.
and that's another thing we can look at really quick. Go to your earn page. I want to show the ROI too, because this will be good to track every week. And go to stake. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep, at the bottom. It's there, right? That's it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep. Details. Yeah. So
Okay,
that number.
70 days. Yep.
Yeah. Every week, and that ROI again, it's what, 74 minus 74.
Yeah.
Remember, everybody's ROI is already negative because we have to earn the PLAZM, um to make that ROI go up. So I think by next week, I would guess your ROI may only be 70 or maybe 65. And we'll look at it every week on the AMAs, but that number will go up. And even if PLAZM stays the same price as it is right now, you're earning more tokens, right? So your ROI goes up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's how that works, guys. I'm bullish on it, just because of the mechanics, and it's because it has, bonds. It's involved with bonds, and everyone knows bonds is number one. And that's it. Links in the description. You want to check out PLAZM. It's, there's a few ways you can do it. You can do a ladder. You can do one big stupid stake like me. You can do, everyone recommends a ladder. I don't have patience for it, guys. I don't want to come here every day. I want to come here once every 77 days in front of you and be like, okay, guys, here's what I'm doing. Am I going to be a hero, or am I going to be a zero next November? We're going to find out, aren't we? So that's PLAZM, guys. We need to go over to, well, first of all, still 28 people watching, only 15 likes. So we need 5 more likes, so I'm not giving away the shirts. So I don't know what your guys' problem is. Maybe you don't like free shirts. But we are going to go to FortuneFi. The 5th week, successful week again, AJ. Everything's working flawlessly. We're over 10 grand beneath. I don't know what to say. This thing is awesome, and it's fun. If you guys were in the group 2 hours before the drawing Friday night, I gave away, I don't know how many tickets I gave away, like 30. I gave away like 30 tickets within the last 2 hours of last Friday night's draw. I kept on asking questions. People were engaged. I'm like, just for chatting, I'm sending you 3 tickets. I'm sending you 6. Come in there. There should be 1,000 people in this group. Okay. The Telegram group is free, and you can win free tickets. Actually, tonight, before I go to bed, I'm going to give away some more tickets. Maybe you guys want to join. All right. So just a thought. So what's your thought on FortuneFi? Are you happy where it's at right now, AJ? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Ryan, no doubt, bro. So again, I know some of those ticket giveaways were maybe alcohol fueled, but yeah, we won't talk about that, right? So yeah, absolutely, come on and check it out. But yeah, the whole idea is that yes, FortuneFi is a we don't want to use the words to get blocked, but basically a jackpot giveaway, where yes, instead of going into just one black box of nothing, the ticket sales go into bonds, and so we're earning amazing yield and growing the jackpot from that yield. And so yeah, I mean, you do a better job of going through it all than I do, Ryan. But yeah, the whole idea is that this will continue to grow, and we've seen that. I mean, the weekly side pots which I'll have you talk about too, have only been going up from inception. So that shows that, this thing could be an absolute monster. I mean, we're getting all this momentum with 10K for the jackpot. I mean, think about
Right.
the momentum. Think about the momentum at 100K or a million or 10 million. I mean, good God. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just only going to get more and more crazy from here. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Ryan. This should be the talk of the town, right? And it will be in due time. So
It will. And I think this thing's going to be huge just because it's real world income. Once again, using Bernard bonds as fueling these jackpots, guys. We have 356 bonds working for us, which about every 32 hours, it compounds another bond. Okay. Because it makes about 25, 26 bucks a day at today's APR. And a bond right now is like 40, 41 bucks. So it's buying a bond. It buys a bond when the tickets go up. So 204 times 2 is what, 408. So right there, it's about 10 bonds, 10 or 11 bonds alone since the draw Friday night. That's crazy. That's 2 or 3 a day. So you can see what's happening here, guys. It's just going to grow and grow and grow. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're not expecting it to be, but in a year from now, it's going to be multiple 6 digits in here, and people are going to be flocking in, and we're going to have a good time with it. I like starting something from nothing, and I just set a goal and I do it. Okay, guys, here's the timer. $10,081. Now, this is 70% of the TVL, guys. Okay, so the other 30% stays in there if someone wins the jackpot. So we don't start from zero again. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, by clicking this little button right here, it brings you to D-Bank, where it'll show the whole TVL. Here we go right there. There's the 30%, and it'll show we have $21 right now sitting in there. When that hits $41, it immediately goes and buys a bond, and it'll look just like this right there, $40.92. It went and bought a bond. This guy bought 4 tickets. This guy bought one. It shows everything, guys, just like it should. 100% transparent. You cannot cheat D-Bank. You cannot manipulate it. It is here. There's nothing better because every single dollar is accounted for. Now, when we go back to that, we all know, we'll blow this up a little bit, the USDC earned off these bonds, 50% goes to the main jackpot, 35% goes to the weekly side pot, 10% goes to Genesis Fund, and 5% goes to the monthly whale pot. The monthly pot, ladies and gentlemen, is drawn on the last Friday of every month. So you've got 2 more Fridays after this one to get in on it. And the pot right now is $514. And it'll show you right here how much you need to spend by that next, the last Friday. I need to buy 5 more tickets and I'm all set. I buy 13 a week. So I guess last week I bought like 43 because I gave so many away on Friday night, but whatever. And that's just the way it is. The weekly side pot, this started at $100. Okay. So it's made $35 in 4 days. So I mean, everything's growing, guys, from the bonds working. All right. And it gives your odds right here. It shows everything. I also want to go over this announcement right here. I didn't do a very good job this last week, but look at this, guys. You're getting rewarded for tickets. I was the second place winner last week. I got 7 free tickets for buying the most. There was a first place, got 10 tickets. I don't know who got that. But anyways, you can check the leaderboard and see where you're at. So if you're close to one of these, it might be worth spending $2 to knock this guy out or this guy, and you're going to make that up 3 or 4 times that in the free tickets you get for the next week, right? Because the 4th through 10th place gets 2 free tickets alone. So that's a huge incentive right there. You want to say anything about this, AJ? This little chart?
No doubt, Ryan. So again, this is all on chain as well. So although Ryan and we give away tickets every week, there is now this built into the smart contracts, and I was the first place winner the other week, Ryan, for testing, bro. So yeah, I had to go in with $100 just to make sure that we were all this worked, because again, everything is on chain, and now that we're live, we can't we can't really go back. So, but again, we said all along, if I win at least, we're juicing the pot with all the winnings anyway, every week. But all that being said, yes. So what this is the leaderboard, and based on the actual leaderboard page, you can see it in real time. So let's jump over there real quick, Ryan. If you go back to FortuneFi and open the go to leaderboard, yep, perfect. And here we go. So you'll see current week, and if you go back at the top, you can even see previous weeks as well at the top
Yeah.
left. Yep, right there. So again,
Yep.
all on chain, all indexed. But let's go back to the current week. You'll see right now. So what the number one guy spent what is that 0.013 ETH.
Yeah.
So whatever that it's what like $10 or something.
Yeah.
Again, you have to do the math on your own. But the whole point is, yeah, if you come in and buy 0.02 ETH of tickets today, you get what is that 13 or 10 free tickets. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. That'll show you too. So that person has bought 13 tickets. So yeah, you basically again, it depends on when you bought the tickets and the price, whether it's ETH or USDC. But yes, you get automatically in your wallet the minute that the draw happens on Friday. You will get 10 free tickets for the next week, and there'll be a box that pops up. I know Ryan, you showed that before. It pops right up on your screen.
Yep.
It says you win 10 free tickets. And then you go back to jackpot, and you can spend the free tickets right there on the right hand side. There'll be a little toggle. It'll just show up there. Yeah, and you get to go in for free. So again, really cool ways to incentivize getting more odds. And yeah, if you win, I mean, again, if that person on the leaderboard won right now, those tickets for what they spent, you're essentially doubling your odds, right, Ryan? Because you're
Yeah.
getting on 13 tickets, you're getting another 10. So just a little less than doubling your odds. So really, really cool stuff. And yeah, all the other leaderboard metrics as well. So
Yeah, it's all here, guys. This week, this month, all time. I mean, that's going to be, it's all here. And that's awesome. BTT, Build the Tech, Scott and company did an amazing job on this. Hats off to them once again. Like I said, when this timer goes to 0, you can watch these numbers count down, bing, 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 and it instantly pays out the wallets and everything except if someone win the main jackpot. It would be 48 hours because we got to liquidate the that $10,000 of the bonds, guy. Okay, and that would be manually sent to you. So you go to my stats page. It shows you every single metric you want to see. I've got 36 referrals. I've been in for 6 straight weeks. Total winnings, total spent. It is all here, guys. If you're a link share, guys, or a multi-level marketer, I don't know why there's not more people in here for multi-level marketing, but it's crazy because you can make some serious money. I don't care about because I give away all my referrals times 3. But 4 cents, 0 to 5 referrals, you get 4 cents per ticket under you, sent to you instantly. 10 cents if you're a silver member, 6 to 25. If you're one like me, every ticket bought on me, I get 20 cents. Okay, so there is some multi-level marketing here. We can afford to pay that because we have an insane amount of bonds working for us in the protocol. Right there, all tracked on chain. There's no fudding about it. You can't, I mean, the referral, it keeps track of it. I made $162 total, 1,620 in volume. There's your link, guys. Copy and paste it, share it to your family, friends, whatever. And here's all the wallets that I've sent tickets to. It never ends. Like it's just on and on and on. And I don't know what to say. I love the protocol. I get excited about every Friday night. And I get into the chat and give away a bunch of tickets and we have a good time. And yeah, it's fun. And these times of, $1,900 to $2,000 ETH, you can't go buy coffee for less than $6 uptown. And then you buy other stuff and your Powerball and your Mega Millions and whatever. You buy it right from your couch, right from your easy chair. And come have a little fun with us on Friday night for $2. Remember? Oh, we need to talk about the streaks. Okay, guys, the streaks.
Yes,
Very,
absolutely.
very
Go ahead, Ryan.
important. So the streaks, guys, like me, 46 weeks from now, because 52 weeks, if you buy one ticket a week, just one, the smart contract knows on the 53rd week that you've bought 52 in a row, you're going to get 2 tickets for the price of one when you purchase one. Okay. So I buy 13 tickets every week because I want to be in the whale pot, because a whale pot is $100 minimum spend for the month before the last Friday. You can do it every week, or you can do it all in one shot. I don't know why you wouldn't do it every week. Then you have a chance of free ticket every single night. You have a chance at the weekly side pots, or spend whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But 13 would be the minimum to get that whale pot. Okay, $26 a week. That's what I do. And now, 46 weeks from now, when I buy 13 tickets, I'm going to get 26, doubling my odds even more. So that's a beautiful thing. Take advantage of the streaks for $2 a week. And then when this pot is 100,000, 500,000, you're going to be double your chances of winning, guys. Okay. It's common sense. It's $2. You know, if you don't have the $2, probably shouldn't be in crypto, but you know, I'm just saying, guys, it takes ETH or USDC on base network. You hook your wallet, links in the description, and you can clear this and you can pick your own numbers. I don't have patience to do that. I do quick pick, you know, press that a bunch of times, go up here, how many you want to mint, boom, you buy the ticket for $2, it's instantly in your wallet. It'll show you right down here. Here is my 12 tickets for this week. All right, bam, I got a bunch of free ones, and then I bought these right here. So I'm all set for the week. It keeps track of it, how many for the whale that I need, and how many weeks I'm consecutive. You can also gift tickets, guys, right? Toggle this over. One ticket, copy and paste your friend's address or your mom or dad's or whatever, and send them a ticket for $2. It's instantly in their wallet, and they are in the drawing. I love it. I'm excited about it, and I can't wait till this thing absolutely explodes. You guys probably think I'm nuts right now, but anything else you want to say about FortuneFi, AJ?
Yeah, no doubt. Just that again, the gifting tickets, that also is really bullish for those that are affiliate or network marketers. You can gift your referrals tickets. So again, there's a really cool way to build. Getting in early right now, you can essentially build all your affiliates to where you're getting that 10% from every ticket forever. And when we get to crazy jackpot numbers, that could really be a side hustle all in its own, right? I mean, again,
Right.
we come full circle of what we talked about at the very beginning of the show, Ryan, with all these people that want to promote Ponzi's for the affiliate. You can make a great affiliate without having to promote a Ponzi. So just remember that, right? So yeah, all that comes together, and yeah, we have a good time every Friday night. And join the Telegram. I mean, like Ryan said, he gives away so much free tickets, and there's only 150 people in there, so make sure
Right.
you join.
Yeah, sometimes I have a little bit too much, rum or whatever the drink of choice may be, and I just get a little crazy in there. But you guys should be taking advantage of that, right? Yeah. So, we need to give away a shirt real quick before we go, AJ.
All right. Let's do
Okay,
it.
guys. What we got 19 likes. Well, you guys tried. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think
In the
of, I'm gonna
recording.
think,
They better,
yeah,
they better like in the recording. There you go, right?
yeah. I'm gonna think of a number between 1 and 100, and the closest person to this number is going to get a Bernard Bond shirt sent to them. It's gonna have a QR code on the back. When people scan your back, it's gonna bring them to the Bernard Bond's website. So start guessing. Number 0 to 100. You only get one guess, guys. So go ahead and start, and then we will talk about. Let's see how I gotta pick my number here. All right, I just wrote it down with a circle, and there we go. All right. Now, let's see. What do we need? Oh, let's touch on McPanic's question here. What's going on with EarnFi? You guys kind of forgot about it. How's it going so far? Do we get over 6% this month? Well, McPanic, with comments like that, over 6% this month, you're probably not even in it, but we'll answer that anyway. So, AJ, what is the situation?
Yeah, no doubt. So again, yeah, like Ryan said, we've been keeping people up to date in the Telegram. If you were involved in EarnFi, you know what's been going on. It hasn't been 6% for months now, and we've been trying to dial it in. The short answer is we'll have an update for the rollover in like 2 or 3 days, and give everybody a heads up. But funds are safe. We're just gonna make some changes to what we're trying to do, and we'll let everybody know in the chat. So yeah, no issues there. And we'll just let, if you're in the Telegram, then you'll be privy to the info. So
Right, exactly. And I know there's only about, I know there's not, there's a lot of people in that Telegram and not that many wallets. So there is a lot of creepers in there just keeping an eye and making sure that
yeah,
we're being honest, AJ. So
yeah, no doubt, Ryan. Again, man, we do everything we can. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. What you can or can't argue with is the return on bonds, man. I mean, again, we like to build really cool stuff. Again, most of the times they actually do yield incredibly. But you just can't compete with bonds, man. Bonds has been crushing it for 9 months straight, even with the market going down. Again, that's why these other people that say all these, again, whether it's real estate or AI trading or whatever it might be, there is absolutely no way they're doing 20% a month on yield. It isn't happening. I promise you.
right, yeah, exactly. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guesses, but I get it, guys. A lot of people don't want to be doxxed. You don't know. I have to ship this to you, so you may not want me to know where you live. Not that I would ever come visit you because I don't really like people. So So with that said, there's one more guess. We'll just give it another minute. Do we need to talk about anything else, AJ?
No, Brian. I think we covered a lot. I know, like I said, we went late tonight, but lots to go over. Just the fact that we're continuing to cook. All the protocols have been really doing well. Oh, we did, and we'll go over it on our own AMA on Thursday. But I know there's a lot of bleed over. If you are in the EMP Discord, we have officially merged that with DexFi now. So we did a post in all the other chats. If for whatever reason you're a Discord user instead of Telegram or whatever else, make sure that you're in the DexFi chat now to stay up to date. And never ever respond to DMs. We had a few of our OGs get hacked this past week, and unfortunately, again, sometimes it's a careless mistake. Ryan or I will never DM you. We'll never ask you for your seed phrase. I should say DM you out of the blue. We usually always have a history, a chat history with those that are legit. So make sure that you're always keeping an eye out for that, and just be safe as you can. And yeah, I think that was it. I don't think any other news that we didn't go over. So let's give away a shirt. Yeah.
Let's give away a shirt. So I wrote down the number. I'll show it here so prove it to you guys. I can't even read my writing. It's 37. Okay. The number is 37. Who's the closest? We have 8 away, 40 away, 18 away. It looks like Marvin Witt is going to win a shirt. So Marvin, you're always commenting too. I'm glad you're winning a shirt. Marvin, DM me in Telegram. Hopefully you're in one of my groups. Shoot me a DM. Give me your shirt size. I'm going to send you a shirt tomorrow, along with Joseph Program. He's getting a PLAZM shirt just because he's a legend and a perma bull. And I got to get a hold of Scott Tixon. He'll probably watch this afterwards when he's done traveling. But get a shirt made. He already DM'd me. Get a shirt made for Joseph and send me a bill. Okay, I'm buying. So that's it. I think, AJ, thank you guys for joining. We always have a good time here. Like 30 people watching again. Our last live got like 400 and some views. So we're growing, guys. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. We're the only team that is doxxed. The only team that will come and talk to you every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And AJ is on 2 other AMAs on Thursday nights. Nobody else does this. Everybody else has fake CEOs, hired out CEOs, walking out with bodyguards, showing up at summits in Miami, wearing masks with steel circles on it. It's absolutely ridiculous, okay? But some of you guys are in it. Good for you. You're getting wrecked, all right? But with that said, guys, thank you for joining. I appreciate every one of you. I'm going to give away a shirt to every single live, guys, so don't worry. You'll have another chance. Maybe we'll get 35 viewers one day, AJ. Maybe we'll be legends one day. One of these days, our AMAs are going to pay off. So,
no, Ryan. Well, hey, one more thing real quick too, Ryan. Sorry to interrupt you in your outro, brother, but I did just want to give a shout out to Cool Sheet as well. I know he's been in the chat all night. He developed an amazing site called Hot Chicken, and we'll do a breakdown of that on your channel, Ryan, in the next week or two, because it directly benefits eShare. And so if you're bullish on PLAZM or EMP or anything, you want the price of eShare to go up because that helps your bag. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. And we have links to all that in the Telegram too. So make sure that you join all of our socials. It's the best way to stay up to date on everything that we're building under our umbrella. So, all right, go ahead, Ryan. Sorry, man.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's it, guys. It's been over an hour and a half. The main thing, doxed founders, doxed wallets, everything trackable on DBank, every single protocol. We are not going anywhere. We are the only ones in the space that do this. AMAs, everybody's doxed. That is what you should want. That is what you should demand. And we're doing it. I think we're successful, and I can't wait to see what the end of this year looks like. I'm super excited about the crypto space, even though it's in the toilet. But I see the light at the end of the tunnel because I'm a permabull. All right, guys. So with that said, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday evening, and we'll see you in the next one.